welcome to Abby's Book Reviews. This is my August wrap up. I only have 2 books to actually show you this month because I read a couple of ebooks and then I listened to quite a few audiobooks as well, and then I am still currently reading a book. I am really hoping to finish it in the next couple of days though, so that will probably go into my September wrap up, even though it is a book from August. So to begin with, I'm going to talk about an audiobook I listened to for July, almost July, but I did finish it in August, and that is The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It is actually my first audiobook since being little, and I really enjoyed it. I've heard people talk about this book quite a lot, and I'm glad I finally was able to read it, even if it was by listening to it. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I was reading The Queens of Innis Lear by Tessa Gratton during July, and unfortunately this plus another book ended up slumping me. Even though it's in the title, I did not realise this is based on King Lear, which, not that I've actually watched it ever, I say that. I went to a King Lear play and I left halfway through. Yeah, it's probably my worst Shakespeare play, and yeah, I don't know if it's because I realised that or whether, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it anyway, but when I realised it was King Lear, my interest just went, which is really awful because if it wasn't for that, I would have probably enjoyed this book. I did enjoy bits of it. I enjoyed the magic system and a couple of other things, but there was just too much, yeah, like sister hate, which kind of sucked. Yeah, I really don't know what to say about this. I've been struggling with how to talk about this book, and I'm really going to struggle for coming to review it. This is the other book that slumped me during July. It is The Infinity War by Marvel. It's a graphic novel combination, and yeah, unfortunately this slumped me as well. I think it's because I thought this was what the Infinity War film is based on, and I discovered it isn't. So it was suddenly stuff that I had no clue who half the characters were, had no clue what was happening, so I kind of struggled through it. Like, I enjoyed it, but I would rather know what was going on, if that makes sense. Wrecker by Noel O'Reilly. This is a historical fiction set in Cornwall. It's about smuggling. She saves this person's life who's drowning, and he's a vicar and comes to introduce him to religion in a smuggling town. Yeah, I really enjoyed the smuggling aspect. I enjoyed a couple of other aspects of it, but there were some points I was just a bit like, really? But then I suppose it is the kind of thing that did happen, so yeah, really enjoyed it though. I listened to The Invasion of the Tearling by Erica Johansson, and I loved it again. I think I prefer the person who narrates The Queen of the Tearling, purely just because of the voices she does for the different characters, and annoyingly it's a different person for this one, so I had to kind of get used to the voices she was doing for the different people, so that kind of bummed me, but I did really enjoy it, and I cannot wait to see where the series goes. I listened to Cell 7 by Carrie Jury. This I only know about because Carrie was at Yauk, and I heard her at a panel, and Cell 7 trilogy sounded awesome, so I had to look into it, and it is really good. I highly recommend it for people. It's set in London, and it's basically what if the justice system still had the death penalty, but that was part of a reality game show that you basically like vote on people's lives. So people who have committed murder go to death row. There's 7 cells, and on day 7 you end up in cell 7, and the public vote decides whether you're innocent or guilty and whether you live or die. Yeah, and it has classism in it as well, but I thought it was really interesting because it could be happening now. Like, that was a scary thing. Like, if the death penalty was still a thing in the UK, like, I could kind of see that happening, which is really scary. And I can see attitudes people have in this book happening in every day just due to like racism and sexism and stuff, which really sucks. But at the same time, is really good because it gets people thinking and talking, but there are points I've ended up shouting at the audiobook while in the car driving. Yeah. On ebook, I read Roombinder by Alex Arcala. This was really good. I just wish I'd had a chance to read it in less sittings, because when I got into it, it was really good, but then I had to put it down for a while, which really annoyed me. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the magic system. I enjoyed the, I would say, world. It's set in America, but basically the population is either dead, dying, or going to be eaten by these weird monsters that have come, which also technically humans. So the human race is either a weird kind of zombie or going to be eaten by the weird kind of zombie. Not that that kind of makes sense if you read it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I really want to get the second book, which I'm pretty sure is called Room Breaker. I think it's out later this year. But yeah, I want to know what happens. When I was first reading it, I was like, oh, I'm not too sure about this, but I really, really enjoyed it and now want to know more. So that is a good thing. I listened to Day 7 by Kerry Drury. This is the second in the Cell 7 trilogy. Again, pretty much the same as I want to say about Cell 7. Really, really enjoyed it. Don't want to say too much because obviously it gives away Cell 7. So yeah, just really enjoyed it. So yeah, go read it, listen to it, anything. And I listened to Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. It's one book, one classic I've kind of never wanted to read. Listening to it was good though, meant I could do other stuff at the same time. I get what people say about, you know, in this day and age, we shouldn't be reading it and, you know, whatever about the use of language, but that's what Victorians were like. If you go in and you're insulted by it, then kind of more for you. Like, I don't know. I don't really know how to go about people's attitudes about changing stuff that was written a long time ago. Like, even 10 years ago, don't go changing it because people's views have changed and the world has moved on. I don't want to rant about this anymore. I feel like I've ranted about it enough at different points. But yeah, no, listen to Peter Pan, and it was good. It wasn't thrilling, and I don't feel like I've gained anything from it, but I also don't feel like I've wasted my life listening to it either. So, my last book of August is Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. I listened to it, and it's really fun to listen to because it's Elizabeth narrating it. I watched the film when it first came out, and I haven't seen or heard anything about it really since then. So listening to it was really fun, and I feel like I got a bit of life advice from it, even though I haven't got to the same point in life as she was when she did it and wrote the book. I definitely want to try and take some of that into my life and, you know, have a more positive outlook on life. I don't know if it's just because I'm feeling so negative at the moment and because I'm so exhausted, but yeah, I definitely need some time to recharge, which isn't going to really happen in September. Even though I'm on a holiday for 6 days, I then have 2 weeks of night shifts afterwards. So, yeah, I just feel like I need some downtime to recharge and save my batteries. But we'll get to that at some point. Enough about me. Enjoy the book you're reading, and I will speak to you soon.